lose heat through building envelope. We supply fresh air and take out the stale air out through ventilation system. We lose heat. We lose heat through wastewater, the hot water that runs on your sink or in the bathtub. After you have used it, we lose that heat. So we have to find a way to tap this outgoing heat and reuse it in some fashion. Looking at doing the cost analysis, the cheapest thing is to minimize the electricity usage. So buying energy efficient refrigerator or oven doesn't cost you that much. If you pay $400 or $500 more, you can save almost that amount in 3 to 4 years. The second key area is to minimize the heat loss. So insulate a lot of your house. And the most expensive is then the other key area is to maximize the solar gain. So by using passive solar design. And by combining all that, we can achieve net zero. So if you are able to produce surplus energy, then you can contribute to the grid and make some money. So in the night time you are buying the electricity, in the daytime you are supplying, at the end you are net zero. So this is a chart that I have produced from cheapest to the most expensive. The cheapest is to change electrical fixture and appliances, water fixture and appliances, building envelope, the passive solar heating, and these are getting more expensive using wind turbine. Like on an acreage it might be possible, but in a regular community setting, because of noise issues, and you won't be allowed to do that. So you can easily reduce your electricity consumption by doing these things by almost 50%. Using efficient appliances, ECM motors, using compact fluorescent or LEDs. LEDs are still expensive, but the places where you use most amount of light, maybe you can take LED light there. But LEDs are still quite expensive. Halogen task lighting, and also adding a phantom load control. So when you are, say, not watching TV and all like you have all those electrical gadgets plugged in, which are consuming a little bit of electricity. So have a switch to switch it off when you are not using it.
So everybody talks about having these controls on all these gadgets that use electricity. And a lot of times they talk about a power bar. You turn off the power bar, it's off, turn the power bar back on. Do they not all have a timer in them or a clock? And if the clock isn't set right, do they not work, or do they have a memory to keep the clock going?
With phantom switch, like you can buy appliances or things like which will keep the clock running, but some of the thing, like if you have your alarm clock plugged in, then you have to reset the time. Right. So that is a pain for some other things. But for your, say, music system and all that, they are capable of running the time, like when you switch it on, it will show you the right time. I don't know how they do it. Maybe there's a battery in the backup, or how does it do it?
So example, my friend has a television and she's got Max or whatever in a big box, and she can record all this stuff. So if she turned off that phantom power, would that still record those shows?
No. Then you're just switching it off.
Then you have to leave it on.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like if you switch it off, then there won't be any electricity. It's all the plugins that we have, like our mobile charger, our 2 VCRs, DVD players, 3 DVD players, 6 LCD TVs, all that. We can reduce water heating, like water consumption by 75% by using water efficient shower head, aerated faucets, using dishwasher which uses less water, using washer with higher Energuide rating. Shower drain heat, water heat recovery, we found that the payback is very fast. It pays back in 7 months. It's like a
Right there on the right.
copper pipe, yeah, this thing.
What do you think of these domestic water heaters like the instant?
Instant up, yeah, it does work, but depends on how many teenagers you have in the house. Like, if it is a 2 or 3 person, like you can get those at any capacity, but the thing is, hot water tank is $300-400. Those are like $1,500 to $3,000. So you have to.
And if it's electric, all of a sudden you gotta have,
Lot of electricity to run it.
you gotta have either two two-pole 30s at least. Some of them, some of them install, they want four two-pole breakers or two 60s. It takes more electricity.
So do they have any of them that are gas?
If you get gas, that's different.
Yeah.
Gas is way more efficient than electricity for heating it.
Because way back when I was in grade 12, I think we went over to Europe as an exchange.
Yeah, Europe has a gas.
And it had it right under the vanity. You
Yeah.
turn on the tap and you
Yeah.
open the thing and you could see the fire right there. It was just heating the water as it was coming out of the tap.
Yeah, when I was
Pretty
in-
well all the houses had it.
Yeah, Thailand.
Like half of these houses don't have any gas. Yes. Because I don't know about Saskatchewan, in Alberta, when you get an electricity bill, it comes with about $40 price tag. Even if I use nothing, I'll get $40 for electricity and water just to receive that bill.
But it's the same with gas.
Yeah.
Because
So
if
so
you
that's
add
that's
gas to the property, you're paying.
yeah.
because it's-
So that's why, say for example, in this Riverdale house, there is no gas. Because just to get that bill, you have to spend like $300 a year. So they got rid of the gas.
But it works both ways. You get rid of the gas or you get rid of the.
Yeah, but
gas.
electric-
It's gonna go up.
But electricity, how you will get rid of? You need light.
Well, yeah, and you don't wanna go with batteries because the code has changed, the electrical code.
Yeah. So, and this house, like I was there in minus 32 degree temperature, we were giving tours of this house. And 6 hair dryers, like we use 2 heaters. Equivalent to 6 hair dryers, heated the whole house. And like we were opening door back and forth and it was comfortable. So these houses are so energy efficient. This is the thickness of the wall, like 2 by 4. So it's pretty, like you have seen the house. So you can basically, it's like a couch. You can sit on it.
Here, it's about 14
Yeah,
inches
about
thick.
this one. Yeah, almost
14,
this
18
much. Yeah.
inches thick, yeah.
So south facing windows, about 10% of the floor area. That produces almost 4,400 kilowatt of heat by solar gate, and it provides about 40% of the space heating. This house also has a domestic water heat storage tank in the basement, which they seem to go away from. Like they didn't do it repeated because they said it was not worth doing that. Drain back collector, they are repeating it. Heat distribution, forced air, fan coil. Some houses are simplified to the baseboard heating because your requirement is so less that they did baseboard heating in some house. And so this domestic water heat storage and drain back provides almost 83% of heating for the entire water. But the amount of investment you do is quite a lot. So that's why